Hi, welcome to News Direct, the podcast. This is a series of podcasts we're doing with, I'm saying, inspirational people who live or operate in the North Lincolnshire area, and just it's about real lives. I'm joined today by Councillor Neil Poole. Hello.
Good afternoon, Rob.
How are you?
I'm very well.
So the format really, we try and get a bit about your experience. You're a local lad. You've walked these streets for all of your life. So tell us about your early life. And obviously we joined the council together in 2007, all those years ago. Maybe just give us a bit of why you went into local politics.
Well, I'm local because actually you've got quite a unique thing. Actually, I was born on Moor Road in Yaddlethorpe, which is attached to Bottesford. And I was born at home, actually, at number 110 Moor Road. And that house was built by my granddad, who was a builder bricklayer. They also built a house at number 2 Moor Road 35 years before that, where my dad was born.
Oh, right.
So quite unique, really, that, I am local.
Yeah, truly local.
Truly local, yeah. And I've only moved 2 miles away, further away up the road to Messingham, where I've lived for the last 42 years.
Is it true you get a nosebleed if you leave?
Well, no, so are you local? Yeah, I'm local.
Yeah. It's nice, isn't it, really? And then you end up having a story about all that time. So what was school like for you? Where did you go?
Interesting. Started off at Bottesford Infants. And I often talk about it because where I was born on Moor Road, my grandma, where I lived at home, my grandma and granddad lived with us as well as mum and dad. And so I went on my first morning to school at the age of 5, walked all the way from 110 right the way up to Bottesford Infants, across the road. And on the second day, I said, Grandma, I can go on my own. And I met up with a pal from next door but 2, and we walked to school. So how things have changed.
I think Messingham Road was quieter then.
Oh, a lot quieter.
Yeah.
A lot quieter. But and one of those persons I walked to school with all those years ago is still a very good friend of mine who I see regularly, which is over a long period of time, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
you survived that. You survived.
Oh yeah, survived that walk to school, and then went to Leaks Farm Junior School.
Yeah.
And then from there to Riddings Comprehensive, as it was.
Yeah.
And that was interesting because there again walked to school, but we moved actually from Moor Road to Bottesford Moor when I was 12.
Yeah, so which was right off Strotter Road on the
to a farm cottage, which was like 3.5 miles away, which was obviously too far to walk. So from that point in time, I went to school in a taxi actually through the children from the same area. Yeah. So that was interesting because everybody thought when you arrived there in a black taxi, you were wealthy and well off.
Yeah. But you just couldn't walk.
We just couldn't walk that far, which was interesting, really.
Yeah, I can imagine. And then, so after school, what were your favourite subjects at school, and then what did you do after school?
History, really. I suppose at school, history is favourite. But I'd also been living on a farm cottage. From a very early age, I'd got Saturday jobs working on a local farm.
Yeah.
So I really wanted to go into something to do with farming or agriculture of some description. So I was very fortunate when I was 16 to get a job as an apprentice in Brig, actually.
Oh, right.
At P. Platts and Sons.
And how did you get there?
On a moped.
Oh, did you?
On a £35 moped that I'd saved up for and bought.
And which way did you go? I know this sounds an odd thing.
It was a war of attrition, really, because it was down to down Ashby High Street. Sorry, down Ashby High Street, then onto the old A18, and run the gauntlet of all those vehicles that were coming from Immingham, and from the docks, going to Doncaster. So in November through to certainly November through to late March, it was full of fog and mist, and it was quite run the gauntlet really on a little old moped. But those are the things you did to get to work, wasn't it?
To get to work. Well, a lot of people got to the works in the same way, didn't they? It was how it was. My dad did.
Well, I remember coming home at lunchtime from Brig after doing a Saturday morning's work, and if you arrived there at 1 o'clock, there was just thousands of bicycles with men going to work on bikes with the billy cans on the back at the change shift for the 2 to 10 shift. Yeah. Coming off the 6 to 2, so big changes.
Yeah. So what did you? So you went through all that. So you went into this agricultural apprenticeship, and where did that lead you to then?
Brilliant, fantastic, loved it.
Yeah.
It was
and how long was it? 3 years?
4 years. Yeah, you did it from 16 to 20.
Yeah. Was there a job at the end of it?
Yeah. Still, I worked for them for 12 years as a fitter. Actually, once I run my time.
Yeah.
But the great thing about that was we came to the technical college here in Scunthorpe to do the welding aspects of it and electrical aspects of it. But then we went all the way to Bishop Burton College of Agriculture one day a week
Yeah.
to do all the agricultural side of stuff. So it was a great apprenticeship, actually. The downside was that for 2 years on a Friday night we was at the tech call from 5 o'clock till 9, which as a young man wanting to go out with your mates was quite challenging, really. But the attendance was key, because if you didn't attend, obviously you was in trouble back at work. So we all had a very good attendance rate.
Yeah.
But it was quite challenging on a Friday evening when you would have liked to be
somewhere
else. We'd like to be somewhere else.
Could have been on the town with your new shirt and boots on.
Yeah.
And what was your apprenticeship? What sort of money were you on?
£11.50 the first year.
People always remember that, don't they?
Yeah, £11.50. And if I worked the Saturday morning,
yeah,
it paid my tax and national insurance, and that's what I got, £11.50.
So you took home.
So
you were still at home at that stage, paying board, presumably.
Yeah, £5. Yeah,
so you were better off at that time than any other time in your life.
Great,
Relative.
It was, yeah. But the great thing about where I worked, the company that I worked for, were fantastic. Two very influential people in my life was one Mr. Elliott, who was the manager there.
Yeah,
who was fantastic, and then Mr. Robert Platts, who owned the company.
Yeah,
two very inspirational people that taught me a lot in life.
Yeah,
and still people I think about, although they've passed away.
Yeah.
As their work ethic, and they had no limit on age. If you were good enough, you got paid the money and you got the responsibility. It wasn't they're not old enough to do it, or they're too old. It was all down to the individual skills, that if you got them, you were promoted and you were paid for it. Really good guys.
That's interesting. When you pick into the role model, actually, I usually have a role model question. So you've watched this, I'm sure you can tell. Tell me, beyond this, so at the ripe old age of 28, you thought, actually, I can't be there anymore, or there's something else.
Well, what happened was, I was quite lucky that I was a fitter apprentice, but because I'd worked on a farm a lot as a hobby, and also for a Saturday job, I could demonstrate the equipment. I could drive the tractor, use the machines, plough them. So basically, I got encouraged to go and do that with the salespeople. So if they were going out selling a tractor, I'd go along and drive it and demonstrate it. As a result of that, I had the chance to leave the workshop and go into the sales office.
Right.
Which took a bit of thinking about at the time, because of all the ribbing from your mates in the workshop. But I decided to do it, and it was a great move, because it got me into sales, got me into sales support, and I finished up being by I was 25, was actually developed an export sales market for the company. And they bought me a company car when I was 21. Which was like unheard of. And I went to France, I went to Norway, Sweden, Gibraltar of all places, exporting used tractors and equipment for them.
Right. Okay.
Which was fantastic as a young guy.
All from a little place in Brigg.
And I changed my mind, decided to leave, because sadly Mr. Platts, who owned the company, had to sell it because he was taken ill. And sadly he passed away after a year with cancer. And basically, I thought this company will never be the same again.
No.
Ultimately, he was owner operator. It was sold to a big multinational. I thought, if I'm ever going to move or ever going to change, that'll be the time to do it. And so people often say, "Did you jump or was you pushed?" It could be a bit of both, really. But the time was right to do something different.
Well, change is that, isn't it?
That was it.
Sometimes you use these opportunities to make a change.
That's it.
So fast track to your time in community stuff. So how long? I mean, so 2007. How many years is that?
Well, 1999, I joined Messingham Parish Council.
Oh, 99. Okay.
1999. It's an issue that people kept parking across my drive in a very narrow street, and I reported it to a couple of people. Didn't appear to be a lot of action as a result of it, so I turned up and sat in at a parish council meeting to listen to what went on.
And you were sold on how wonderful.
Well, I couldn't make my mind if whether I was inspired or disappointed.
Okay.
but it pressed a button and to get involved, basically. And so, and it wasn't far away from May when I read up on how you get onto the parish council, or to how you get involved.
26 years ago, you tipped up to that parish council. And then you became the chair of the parish council.
So basically, I got elected onto the parish council in 1999. Then within 3 years of that, I became the chairman. So I've been chairman 24 years now of the parish council in Messingham.
You've lived in Messingham for a lot. Well, you lived
42 years this year.
And you've been within, spitting distance. Forgive my, but you that close to it all that time, haven't you? Really?
Absolutely, yeah. And it's funny. Somebody asked me the other week about, why do you still do that after all this time? I still get a buzz out of it. I still enjoy doing it. And I always think if you enjoy doing something, keep doing it. At the time you don't enjoy it, it's the time not to do it.
Well, it's not a chore, is it? If you enjoy doing something. So obviously you then got elected, same as me, same day. I remember being in that Bottesford Sports Hall in 2007, getting elected. What was it like being elected? What was it like? Well, winning your seat, but what was it like being at count? And how did it feel?
I think democracy is a wonderful thing when you've won, and it can be very disappointing when you haven't. And so, I'd stood for election before and not been successful, and to stand in 2007 and be successful was humbling, really. And it's to think about the challenge then of what you want to deliver or what you want to achieve. And I've got a simple philosophy with it, really, is that, if you can leave somewhere better than you found it, you've got a result, haven't you? And I still get the same buzz today, being a parish councillor and a North Lincolnshire councillor, as I did back in 2007 when I got elected. I still enjoy it for the same reasons. And we can't help everybody all the time, but we try to, don't we? And, been in a position where you can help and you can direct. Sometimes we just signposts, aren't we? To help people along. Still gives me a buzz doing it. And I think that's most elected members that I come across. That is...
and it's irrespective of politics. It is just that, isn't it? It is still the best thing you do is helping somebody, as you say. So in 2011, you became a cabinet member. I think finance first, were you?
I think it was, yeah, with Liz.
And then obviously you started getting more involved in that, being in the administration, running the council. What do you think? What was your ambition? What do you try to achieve as part of that?
I think you try to use your knowledge, and it's all about the human touch, isn't it? Because our daily work is when we're out at parish and town council meetings, or when we're just walking down the street and somebody shouts, "Oi, Poole, have you heard about this? What do you know about that?" It's relating to them the business of what the council is, which is a large business to operate effectively, ultimately, and all the public services, all the people you employ, but still keeping that human touch, that we are in touch with people that matter, and that we are in touch with Mr. and Mrs. Average who live at number 22, wherever in North Links. We do understand the issues, but we don't have a silver bullet, and we don't have a magic wand, do we? No. But what we have is enthusiasm and determination to do the best we can do with the resources we have, and hopefully I contribute in a positive way. I always think that my glass is always half full and it's never half empty. And so you can always find good in things, can't you, if you want to look, and you can also find positive things if you want to look. And some, as you've just mentioned earlier on, cross-party, there are a lot of good councillors who are trying their best for the communities where they live, and who they represent. And that still makes my glass feel half full.
Why do you think you are an optimistic person?
I have no idea. I actually have no idea.
Were you an optimistic child? Were you? Well, you clearly were. From that first day at school, you were like, "Of course, I can cross that road. I'll be fine."
So, I think it's as you know, I've had serious illness in the last year and a half, 2 actually, and people say, "Why are you still so positive after that?" Well, because I'm lucky. I'm still here. I'm still fit and relatively fit, able and to participate and contribute into not just North Links and the parish council, but to my family and friends. And I think it's really important to keep positive.
What would you change if you think about your life? Is there anything you'd look back and think? I mean, we often frame this as a mistake. Is it something you would do differently? Is there anything you reflect back?
I'd have tried harder at school, I think.
Okay.
Well, because I had so much other distractions. I loved living on a farm cottage with the freedom of being able to go out for hours on end with the dogs walking behind you. No restrictions as such. All that fresh air, getting involved with farm machinery, enjoying the harvest. That was great times for me. I had a great childhood. Not owning a farm, but living next to one and being able to go and help out on it. And so that was a big distraction to me as regards school. But the subjects that I really did enjoy was basically metalwork, woodwork, those type of things.
Yeah.
But I really did enjoy history. And I've often said to my wife, if I'd really knuckled down, I wouldn't have minded being a history teacher, I suppose, because I just like history, like I do like archaeology and all those sort of things. So, but life is what it is, isn't it? It's what you make it. And I was very lucky, very, very lucky to find a job that I enjoyed as an apprentice with a really good company and really good leaders, if you like, with managers and the owner who saw something in me to give me other chances and other opportunities.
Yeah.
And that's something I try and pass on to people who's worked for me or contractors who work for me or people that I work with in the volunteering area. It's not about how you are or who you are. Ultimately, it's about how good you are at doing those jobs.
What you contribute. What motivates you?
Well, I just enjoy people. I enjoy talking to people. I enjoy talking to people who sometimes are probably not that as optimistic as me to try and turn their views.
You're ever the optimist.
Ever the optimist. And say, at the end of the day, life's to live, life's to be here, and make the most of you can make of it. And there's, there's always people in life, sadly, who've got a worse deck of cards to deal with, or in a sadder position through, and in a lot of cases, not through their own making, just by sheer bad luck.
Yeah.
And so, we have to be looking for what we've got, feel confident in that, and make the best of what cards you've been dealt with, and keep optimistic, because at the end of the day, it's a far more better life if you're happy in life, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Than being down and miserable.
Well, it perpetuates it.
It does, yeah.
That's the problem. So, actually, it's a good place. So, if you were stranded on a desert island, it's a nice one, So clearly, you would go on to being a desert island in an optimistic way. You'll find somewhere to fish. You'll find a way of finding your food and probably getting some plants. But so, as the desert islandist adage goes, it says you'd take more tracks. But if you've got 3 tracks that you would take, CDs or discs, or you can even take vinyl with you, Poole. How's that? What would you take?
Well, I thought about this, and because I love music, and the 80s music was something that, when you're in your sort of like mid-20s to 35, the 80s was an influential part for me.
Yeah.
But also I thought right the way back to when I was young, and I used to come to the Scunthorpe Market, not too far away from here, with my mum and my grandma on a Saturday morning, and there was a stall called Ashley's Music, and they used to sell records and vinyl.
Yeah.
And the very first record I bought, I would take with me.
Okay.
And that's not particularly because I still like it. It's just because the memories of going there with my mum and my grandmother.
Yeah.
And
what was that?
It was T-Rex, Get It On.
Get It On.
T-Rex. It was, And so, and she said, I've got loads of favourite records.
Have you still got it?
I've still got it in the false roof, yeah. And so that's why I'd do that. And then the second one would be, I'm a real big Fleetwood Mac fan, and trying to think of a Fleetwood Mac song was difficult, but it's Christine McVie actually, and Songbird. I think if you listen to that song and the lyrics and the music, and she was almost underrated in that band, but when she sang solo, she was the clarity of her voice, and the meaning of those words about friendship and love and all those sort of things that's important to human beings is good. And then the other one's quite an interesting one, which again is from the 80s, that I enjoyed a time at the rugby club in Scunthorpe, not taking it particularly seriously, but it was sort of more of a social rugby team I played in every Saturday. And one of our players had a very old London type bus that we used to use twice a year and go on. And we all used to go on
where to
play matches. We went to Lincoln a few times to play on a weekend and stuff. And if we weren't in that, we're in our own cars, but we played a single track. By Billy Ocean, which applies to a lot of things if you're in a team, about the spirit of it, and also in life really, is when the going gets tough, the tough get going. And I often think about that when I've had challenges health-wise and stuff, and challenges we all get in council decisions. You've got to think about that. When the going gets tough, the tough get going, and we deliver, we do it, and we keep optimistic about the outcome. Those are the 3, but not necessarily favourite songs, but songs that mean something to me, really.
Well, that's good. Well, we share the optimism thing. We've both got optimism bias, haven't we? Sometimes it can be a challenge, but it's
can with others sometimes, can't it?
Yes, it can, can't it? Yes, he says. Finally, on that journey with the desert island, they say you can have one luxury item. What would you have?
Well, it's not a luxury item, so it might get barred, so I can't take it. But
We'll see.
I would want to take a family photograph, actually.
Yeah.
If that was luxury.
No, I think that'd be a luxury item.
And so the family photograph, because all the people that's really important in your lives would be on it. And even though you're on your own on a desert island, you could bring that out when you're having a down moment and think about all the good things and the good times and the people that mean so much to you.
Yeah.
But if you was going to bar that, and I couldn't take it,
but what was your backup plan?
My bowls.
So Neil, as we all know, is a prolific, I'd say, bowler. But you are, though, aren't you? And it gives you a lot of, it keeps you active.
And what I do, I'd use this as an advert for, I play bowls outdoors and indoors and play it to a decent standard. But it's not just about the bowls, and we've had this conversation before.
Yeah, we have. Yeah.
It's about the community spirit. It's about people being looked after, because at a bowls club, we're not far from the indoor one now as we're talking now, and you've got people who come and play bowls because they enjoy it. People come be competitive.
Yeah.
But you also have people who come to play bowls for companionship.
Yeah.
And particularly if somebody's been widowed or on their own or going through a bad time, if they don't turn up to the bowls match, straight away, then a little alarm bells ring by people there saying, where is Fred? Where is John?
Yeah.
And there's soon a phone call going to ring them up and say, all right, to find out what's happened and why they haven't arrived. And even if they're injured or somebody's can't play for whatever reason, they'll come and have a cup of tea, watch a game, and have a discussion and chat with folk. And so it's not just about the game of bowls and being competitive. It's about a team. It's about being involved in it. And there's a lot of social clubs and private and sports clubs which those supporters, like Scunthorpe United, isn't it? Supported them for many years. That people go for that once a fortnight, or if they go away games once a week, and it's who they stand next to, who they sit next to, watching the game, and it's that value as a community spirit, isn't it? It's important in sport. Whether you're taking part in it or watching it, or who you sat next to arguing with about the results.
Oh yeah, it's true. Having different views. You're going to have to do a bit of work on that beach, though, to get them bowls to be any good. You might have done to playing bowls.
Well, could do petang, couldn't I?
Neil Poole, thank you very much. It's always a pleasure. We work together all the time, but genuinely, it's been a real pleasure. And listening to your experience of growing up locally and then getting into public life and how that has helped you add to people's lives has been really inspirational. And so, thank you for your time.
Not a problem at all, Robert. The only thing I would say as well is what I always say when I was travelling abroad with people, say, where do you come from? I says, well, if you researched it and you'd see it's a steel town, and that gives you the totally wrong image, because it is important to us steel and immensely important for all those people that's worked with it all the way from 1850. But I've always said that if you stand in the middle of Scunthorpe and drive your car for 10 minutes, you're in beautiful open countryside, rural countryside. And that's the one thing we're very lucky about. And I think sometimes when you live somewhere, we don't always appreciate what we've got. And I think we've got a fantastic area to live in.
Yeah, always worth talking up. Neil, thank you for your time. Thanks for joining us on News Direct, the podcast. If you enjoyed it, please like and share. Please do try to keep tuning in. We'll have a podcast every week, and it's really appreciated if you would continue to support us. Until next time, thanks for joining us.